Have you ever felt like you were connected to someone you hadn't even met? A strange pull in your chest, like a thread, quietly tugging at your heart from somewhere far away. Some say it's just coincidence, but in old Chinese folklore, they say it's fate, a red thread tied around your little finger, connecting you to the person you're meant to find. No matter the time, the place, or how far apart you are, the thread never breaks. Welcome to Histo Shade. I'm so glad you're here. Tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from tonight? Because this story might find a string in your heart too. Tonight, let me tell you the story of a boy who didn't believe in destiny, and a girl who waited beneath the moonlight. This is the red string of fate. Long ago in ancient China, there lived a boy named Wei. He was 15, awkward, intelligent, and often lost in thought. Orphaned at a young age, he had been raised by an old monk who spent his days sweeping temple floors and telling strange stories about the universe, about destiny, and most often, about love. Wei never believed in love. Not really. Not yet. But the monk would smile at him and say, "Each of us is born with a red string tied around our finger. That string is bound to someone else. Your person, your heart's companion. It may stretch or tangle, but it will never break." Wei would roll his eyes. Magic string? Love tied to my finger? That sounds like something you tell children. The monk chuckled. Maybe, but even children grow into the people they're meant to find. One soft summer night, under the heavy weight of a full moon, the monk came to Wei and said, "Tonight, would you like to see who your thread leads to?" Wei hesitated. Something in him wanted to say yes. Something in him already knew he wouldn't be the same afterward. So he followed, through the sleeping village streets, past lanterns swinging in the night breeze, until they reached the dimly lit market square. And there, sitting cross-legged on a mat, was a girl, small, maybe 8 years old, selling fruit from a basket far too large for her frame. Her cheeks were smudged with dirt. She looked tired, but her eyes held this strange stillness, like she knew she was waiting for something. The monk pointed to her. "There, that's who your string is tied to." Wei blinked. He looked at the monk, then back at the girl. "She's a child." "Yes," the monk said gently. "The thread doesn't mean now. It means always." Wei's chest tightened. He didn't know what he'd expected, but this felt like a trick. He wasn't ready to be told who he'd love. He didn't want to decide it before he understood what love even meant. So in a moment of fear, of frustration, he picked up a small stone and threw it. It struck the girl's forehead, just to graze. Startled, she let out a soft cry and clutched her brow. Wei turned and walked away. He didn't say a word. The years passed. Wei left the village. He became a doctor, calm, capable, solitary. He never saw the monk again. He never returned to the market. He never told anyone about the girl with the quiet eyes. But deep down, in quiet moments between waking and sleep, he sometimes wondered about the thread, about the monk, about the girl. He told himself it was all just a story. But still, he remained alone. Then, one rainy morning, a woman came to his clinic. She carried herself with quiet confidence. She was not loud, not striking, but she made the room feel steady. There was something about her Wei couldn't explain, something familiar he couldn't place. They spoke. She returned. They spoke again. And over weeks, her presence became comforting. Over months, it became essential. And eventually, it became love. On the night of their wedding, as he reached up to brush a loose strand of hair from her forehead, he noticed something, a small scar, barely visible, just above her eyebrow. He paused. She smiled. "Oh, that. I got it as a child. Some boy threw a rock at me once in the village market. I never knew why." Wei didn't speak. He didn't need to, because in that moment, he knew the string had pulled, gently, patiently. All this time, it had never let go. The red string of fate doesn't care about time. It doesn't care about logic or timing or distance. It just waits until two people are finally ready. If this story stayed with you, even for a moment, tell me in the comments. Do you believe in fate? Have you ever felt like someone was meant to be part of your story, even before you met them? And if you love soft, whispered folktales to fall asleep to, subscribe to Histo Shade. There's always another thread waiting to be found, and I'll be right here to tell you where it leads.